What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And Ilia Topuria just fucking KO'd Max Holloway and defended his featherweight belt for the first time in probably one of the craziest results of the year. I don't think many people were like shocked by Ilia winning, but I think it's just a shocking thing to see Max Holloway unconscious, which he was not like one punch flatlined, but it was as close to a KO. Holloway by the end of it was out. There was no like TKO element of it. He was not defending himself. He was out, and Ilia landed a massive shot in the third round, followed up, and then landed another massive shot, and then put him down and put him away. And it was an absolutely crazy performance from Mr. Topuria as well. Yeah, I don't really know if I'm going to just talk about this fight or do the whole card and then do the whole card later. I'll probably just do the whole card now. Fuck it. But yeah, crazy fucking fight from Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway. Like, subscribe, leave a comment as well. Follow my Instagram, Leftland MMA, before we get to the full video. But yeah, crazy performance, crazy KO, crazy fight, crazy card, honestly. Like, Ilia, right? The fight started out, it was a pretty high, not like super high paced, but definitely not like a slow paced fight. Like, they definitely wanted to prove that they were there to KO the other one, or to really assert themselves, to impose their will, which is what Ilia ended up doing. But yeah, you could tell they came out there straight away. Ilia did the fucking gesture to the middle. Max just kind of held like a thing, like I assume like a flag, and said like, "Go, come, you're the bull," or whatever. And just denied that, which was, he said he was going to, so I don't think anyone blames Max Holloway for that. But yeah, Holloway, I don't know what the official judges' scorecards were. I could check them now. Actually, I'm kind of curious, so I'll check them now. Let me see. Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria scorecards. I want to see if they had Max up. It didn't really matter, obviously, because it was third round. Let's see. That's not even the right fucking one. Anyway, we'll come back to that. But yeah, I had it 1-1 personally. I thought it was 1-1 going into the third round, and then obviously Ilia won that third round very decisively. So no need for the scorecards. Ilia's kind of held true for that for most of his career. How good is Josh Emmett's chin? Just say that underrated crazy chin from Josh Emmett to survive that beating. But yeah, kind of even first round. Holloway doing a little bit more, I'd say. Looked pretty solid. I kind of just forgot a bunch of it because I'm just remembering the KO now, but I forgot a lot of what else happened. Holloway was landing some good jabs. Ilia was just hammering the low kick and kept getting hit with straights as he did so, but I think he was kind of investing in that low kick. He was landing some good shots. He would extend with those combinations, like lead with like the left to the body, right to the body, left up top, right up top. And then I was just fucking going, he's about to fucking KO him every time Holloway moved back. But Holloway actually did a good job for the most part of moving sideways and using lateral movement to get out of the way of the shots. But yeah, eventually, or second round, I'll talk about. I gave the first round to Holloway. Second round, Ilia started landing some shots more, landed a few bigger shots, good low kicks. Holloway kind of wasn't tagging him up as much. Third round, Ilia came out, was looking good. Obviously landed that massive shot. I forget what the initial punch of the sequence was. Honestly, I forgot a lot of this card because it's 8 a.m. here right now. I've been up all night, so I know. Welcome to the life of a British MMA fan, I guess. But I'm down in Australia. We don't deal with this much. It's a yearly thing here with these Abu Dhabi cards. But yeah, I'm running on no sleep, so I don't have much memory here. But Ilia landed a massive shot, stumbled Holloway back, just exploded with a combination very similar to round 5 of Holloway-Gaethje, where Holloway cracked Gaethje and then kind of exploded with a flurry. Holloway kind of backed out, circled away. I was like, oh, he's going to recover, he's alright. And then Ilia just stays on you, and if you've been cracked by Ilia, that next shot is not going to crack you. It's going to fucking put you down, and that's what it did. I think it was a massive left. It was the left hook. I remember the finishing shot that put him down. Left hook from Ilia, dropped him bad, and then a few ground and pound shots were really not needed because Holloway was not defending himself, but good to prove, good to have no controversy with the stoppage, I guess you could say. I'm worried about Holloway going forward. Look, I think I'll do a next fights to make video, of course. I think it's lightweight for him. There's no reason for Holloway to stick at featherweight. Absolutely none. Even if he'd won this fight, there really wasn't much reason for him to stick at featherweight. So I want to see Holloway go to lightweight, but I am worried. I might do a video of like career trajectories or like downfalls that I'm worried about, inspired by Holloway, because I'm very concerned about what the rest of Maximus's Holloway's career could hold after that KO, because we know what happened when the chin gets cracked, and I'm worried because that might end up going badly for him. But Ilia, He's just different, bro. I think he's 26 years of age, maybe turning 27 soon. And he's in 2024. This is Ilia Topuria, the fighter of the year. He has locked it up. I don't care what else happens. Even if fucking... Unless Ferreira somehow fights again in December, which was obviously not going to happen, Ilia, in my opinion, has that shit locked up. If Ilia had scraped a decision over Holloway, it had been a close split decision. Maybe you say, okay, Pereira's 3 wins, the quality. Also, the quantity gets it done over the quality of opposition. But Jamal Hill, Yuri Prohaska, and Khalil Roundtree look like just normal contender wins that any like top 5 guy could have. But Ilia Topuria beating Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski both by KO, and flatline Volkan, basically a flatline against Holloway, is nuts. Like, that is probably the best 2 back-to-back wins anyone has ever achieved in the sport in history. And if you disagree with that, I'd love to hear your opinion on what surpasses that. What 2 back-to-back wins, or what 2 wins on someone's resume over different opposition. I don't want to hear like, oh, Stipe beating DC twice. I don't want to hear that shit. What 2 wins over different opposition are better than Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski, both by KO? Ilia Topuria, without much quantity, is going to just rapidly rise the GOAT list through those 2 wins alone, honestly. And then if he can rack up some other defenses, he is definitely going to put himself in those conversations. I can't have him top 15 all time yet, just because you need work. Like, there needs to be an element of longevity. Like, you can't just defend the belt one. Like, it's incredible. If you're looking at best of all time, I'm more than happy to put him very high up that list. If you're looking at pound for pound number 1 right now, I'm very willing to have that conversation. But top 15, greatness, you got to have a bit more longevity to it. But that will definitely bump Holloway down a few spots on the GOAT list here. I don't want to turn into Lucas Tracy and start, making everything about, with this intricate little positioning of the GOAT list here. Lucas is probably going to come out and be like, that makes Volk's loss age well, that actually bumps him up. He's number 2 now on the GOAT list. That's probably the video Lucas is coming out with. But Ilia, amazing performance, crazy KO. Look, it was not without it was not without adversity, I should say is the word. It was not without him having to work for it and struggle. I think, what was my official prediction? I actually don't remember. Let me check. What was my official prediction? I want to double check because I want to be able to brag about this if I actually got this right. Because I think I said round 2 TKO maybe. I might have said round 3 though. Because I picked Ilia, and I'm pretty certain I picked him by KO. Sorry, I'm doing some stuff here. Wait, let me double check. I picked Ilia round 2 TKO via a right hook. So I wasn't too far off. I was 1 round off. I'll be honest, if Ilia had finished Volk in round 3, I probably would have picked him to finish Holloway in round 3 as well. So it was kind of just based off that because I didn't really know the rounds. But I did pick Ilia by TKO. I mean, you could say it was more of a knockout than a TKO. But still, incredible from Ilia. Sad for the Holloway fans. I won't talk too much about this fight anymore. This is kind of just a briefer card recap. But I might have another video coming soon about like Ilia and his skills and his kind of positioning in the kind of best of all time discussion, I guess. I might do a top 15 best of all time list because I know everyone wants to see the GOAT list. I've been working on that for a bit and I've kind of put it to the back burner for a bit. But a best of all time list would actually be a fun conversation. Or like a best resumes of all time list in terms of like best quality wins, I guess. But yeah, that'll do it in terms of the main event. Let's move on though to anything else I'm trying to think. No, I'll talk about next fights to make in tomorrow's video. Anyway, co-main event, Khamzat Chimaev. Yeah, he just fucking took down Whittaker in round 1 and subbed him immediately and broke his jaw. I'm not going to show the photo of Robert Whittaker's mouth or his jaw because it is nasty and it would probably get me another community guidelines strike and mean I can't upload for 2 weeks because it would probably be flagged for violent and graphic content because that shit is nasty. I'll try and... What's the page that you can go find it on if you haven't seen it already? You'll probably have seen it on IG if you guys are fans of the sport. You'll catch it somewhere. Freak MMA on Instagram. What else? Freak MMA Octagon update story. You can check it there. Whittaker's jaw. The photo of his teeth is disgusting. It's fully cooked it. I saw someone saying, like, I saw some cope of someone saying, oh, he was probably injured going in. I don't think he was injured going in. I think Khamzat, my theory, I want to go back and rewatch the sequence. So I think Khamzat landed a nasty elbow. And initially I thought it was like he like knocked his jaw like sideways, like that. And busted it that way. But I don't know, because his teeth look like they're like backwards in his, like back in his mouth. So maybe he knocked out his teeth or something, or squeezed it. If it wasn't a punch that caused that, and it wasn't an injury, and Khamzat just squeezed Whittaker's fucking teeth out of his gums, then that is nuts. And this guy needs to be tested for fucking roids. But I did pick Khamzat, and I do think I picked him by round 1 submission. Let me double check. I'd love to get this one right too. Yeah, round 1 sub. I said with a DAS, but who gives a fuck about the method of submission? I said round 1 submission for Khamzat, though. I got that one right. Yeah, I wasn't super confident, but I was like, I do think Khamzat is the style of guy who can kind of just make Whittaker shit himself a little bit and be like, oh, fuck, and then just give up. Not give up, but like kind of catch him before he can really settle into the fight. And we saw that. He had him down within a minute. Like, you're not defending this guy's takedowns within the first minute. He's just going to get you down. And then he was patient. He didn't overrush it. He didn't do what a lot of guys, like even Lerone Murphy or Dan Ige did, where they fell off the top and fell off the back of their opponent. That didn't happen. So it was good control from Whittaker. He kind of had one hook in just to stop Whittaker from exploding back up. He had one hook in. He was kind of just holding him to the side. And then anytime Whittaker would like try and move, he would just take him wherever he wanted him, take his back, and then he would throw some ground and pounds. He threw a nice elbow. He was throwing some good elbows, some good ground and pounds. And it wasn't like a 10-8 round before the submission. Like I was kind of thinking, like, yeah, the judges might just give him a fucking 10-8 here, and just be retarded. But I don't know. But yeah, eventually lands some good ground and pound, and then just punch, and then just fucking just locks up that rear naked. And Whittaker just fucking, he was fucking panic tapping, and it wasn't like Whittaker quit like a Darren Till against Duplessis where he just kind of got squished and then he kind of was like, oh, tap, I'm out of here. I think his jaw was genuinely cooked. Like his jaw's dislocated, it's busted up. He's not fighting in fucking February. He's gonna need some time to recover. I'm not as worried about like a potential downfall of Whittaker as I am for Holloway, because Whittaker's lost before. He hasn't been subbed before, and that's definitely some damage to the mouth that you don't want to take. But it's not like he's just been brutally KO'd or given CTE or fucking like his chin's gonna be gone. Like he got subbed. It was probably the better way he was going to lose this fight. Obviously, it's still not ideal for Whittaker. But Khamzat, talk about the winner. Let's not talk about Whittaker because it's sad. I picked Khamzat. I thought he was going to look impressive and show up and remind people, and he definitely reminded people. And now we got to have a conversation about who's getting that title shot with Strickland and Whittaker. Sorry, not Strickland, Whittaker. Strickland and or Khamzat with Duplessis, because it was all plans go for Strickland Duplessis, and now it seems like Khamzat might have just squeezed himself in there. And I'll just say this: the UFC's going to Saudi Arabia in February, and it is a fight night. But I could low-key see if Dana White just bows to fucking Sheikh Turkey, and the Saudis just fork out like 20-30 mil and just say, you're not going to get pay-per-view shares for this, you're not going to get pay-per-views, and just take this $25 million to put on a massive like top 10 fights in the sport kind of title fight on a fight night in Saudi. Dana White does it. Like it's not something I would do if I had it my way. If I was matchmaking this, I would say I actually don't still mind, just because I don't think Khamzat's going to stay active. He's not going to fight in Australia against Strickland. So I think Strickland Duplessis made perfect sense for Australia if they couldn't get Volk on there. I think I forgot to talk about that, but I'll talk about that in the matchmaking video. But yeah, Khamzat, I think he's clearly deserving next of a title shot. He needed that big win. He needed that top-level win. And another 2 wins that are very impressive, not quite as impressive as Volkanovski and Holloway, but Kamaru Usman and Robert Whittaker. Very fucking impressive. Like, Usman's probably like the second greatest welterweight of all time. I know he was on a bit of a slide, but second greatest welterweight of all time. Whittaker's probably like third or fourth greatest middleweight of all time. I'd say third behind Silva and Izzy. Maybe Dricus is kind of getting up there if he gets one more win or something, just via like level of opposition and the fact that he beat Whittaker. But, you know, those are fucking elite wins for Khamzat. Obviously, the Usman fight was a struggle, but to submit Robert Whittaker inside a round, I'm going to sound like Joe, who does that to Robert Whittaker? That's an insane performance. Like, that was a nuts fucking performance from Whittaker, or from Khamzat, to just go in there and smoke Whittaker. Like, crazy stuff. Very impressive. Deserves a title shot. I'm probably just going to fucking pick this dude to beat anyone he fights. Because I just don't think you survive round 1 against this guy unless you're fucking Usman and get 10-8'd. And in hindsight, like, Usman did very well to survive round 1. I know before the finish, Usman looked worse. Like, Whittaker looked like he was doing better than Usman was. And I was like, oh, I was talking to my mates, because that's why I didn't live stream, because I had mates over, but I was saying, like, damn, Whittaker's doing a good job to not get 10-8'd like Usman here and not get beaten up and stuff and get his back taken, but eventually, it doesn't even fucking matter. He's just going to take your neck and choke you out and break your jaw. So that's what Khamzat did. Yeah, tough for Whittaker. I kind of expected it. He's always kind of just been destined and doomed to be the fucking never the best guy, I guess. He's never the best, never the number one, is the story of Whittaker's career, unfortunately. It's very similar to DC, apart from when he won the heavyweight belt right at the end, towards the back end of his career. But crazy win from Khamzat Chimaev. I'd imagine it got a bonus. Let me see if bonuses have come out yet. I'm genuinely struggling to keep my fucking eyes open. I'm that tired. Let's see. Bonuses. Rabecki Orolbai fighter of the night. Performance of the night. Shara, Bullet, Chimaev, and Topuria. Yeah, that checks out. So definitely a bonus for Chimaev. Definitely a bonus for Ilia and a bonus for Shara. So great performance from Chimaev. Not much else to talk about. If anything else comes to mind, I'll talk about it in a later video. But Ankalaev vs Alexander Rakic. This was my underdog pick of the card, and I got it wrong. I thought I was being a bit clever here. I thought Rakic could be a bit too physical, stuff the takedowns of Ankalaev, keep it on the feet, and just kind of land the bigger shots and look a bit more aggressive and trouble Ankalaev a little bit. It was more of like a hope pick, like I was like, oh, please Rakic win, because it would just be so funny. I don't even hate Ankalaev. I just think he's very boring. Not even as a fighter, like, he's just dead as a personality. Like, he's not a real fucking human, I'm sorry. And there's going to be retards that just say, oh, you're being anti-Dagestani, Islamophobic and this. Like, no, I'm not. There's Dagestani fighters I like. I actually like Islam. Islam's fun. Islam's entertaining. Islam's not a fucking NPC. Khabib, not an NPC. Like, these guys, not all of them are fucking NPCs. Ankalaev just makes it so difficult to fucking like him, because he's just dead. Like, some of the other Dagestanis make an effort to learn English. I'm not saying you have to do that, but, like, give us some fucking personality, please. But he did well. Rakic won the first. All three scored at 29-28. I gave the first to Rakic. I was looking for any excuse to be like, maybe Rakic won around there. But no, it was the first for Rakic, and it was the second and the third for Ankalaev. Very impressive for Magomed Ankalaev, I guess. It wasn't the funnest fight. I'll be interested to see if Dana gives Ankalaev the go for the title shot and says, yep, that's what we're doing, or if he goes, what's the question? Ankalaev? Yeah, he's gonna have to fight fucking Vatikov. Yeah, Vatikov. Good luck, kid. Have fun. Like, I don't know what he's gonna fucking do with Ankalaev. He's like, we're giving him a Volkanovs-Demir rematch. Good luck, kid. Like, I don't know. He's just gonna fucking not give him a title shot. Like, Oldberg's gonna win. He's gonna, like, who doesn't want to see Oldberg against Ferreira? That's a massive fight. But yeah, Ankalaev did better, cleaner in the second and third, just more output. Rakic was just backing up too much. Like, bro, you can't just low kick at range on the back foot running away against Ankalaev. That might work against Smith or fucking Santos or whatever, whoever you're fighting. That might work against fucking, like, Ozdemir maybe, or some of these guys. Even Yuri, he looked really good. That's kind of what kind of convinced me that he was a bit better than he ended up showing in this fight. Was he was just tuning up Yuri. But Yuri's defense is obviously very beneficial to a guy like Rakic to look good. But yeah, I picked him. I don't regret it. It was a fun pick. I was having a vibe. I wanted it to happen, but I wasn't overly confident that it would. But yeah, I got that one wrong. Anyway, next fight on the card, Lerone Murphy versus Dan Ige. I would not stop talking about this whole fight, how Lerone Murphy is literally just featherweight Leon. And not just because he's black and British, but like, I'm sorry, his build is the fucking same, the way he fights, his movement in the cage, like his fucking feints and shit, the way he throws strikes, every single fucking bit of him is just the same as, it's just the same fucking thing as, what's his name? Leon Edwards. But he's just a bit more risky, and he like takes a bit more risks, and he's a bit more fun, right? But Ige cracked him bad in the first. Ige dropped him real bad in the first round. And I thought he was going to get finished. And I had a bet on Lerone Murphy by decision, which I cashed. But still, really good performance in the second and third round for Lerone Murphy. Very happy to see him kind of battle through a bit of adversity, because, you know, Barboza's, you know, he's a crafty vet, but he's not going to give you that same fucking... He's not going to give you that same test as Dan Ige is. Dan Ige's not getting finished. Dan Ige's not just getting whooped around for 5 rounds. Like, he's going to make you work for it. He had some grappling moments in the third. He took him down a bunch, and then Lerone Murphy just had just enough hustle to get back up right at the end, about a minute and a half to go, and land a nice knee, land some good shots in the end of the third round and steal it, and won all unanimous 29-28. He won the second and third, in my opinion, pretty clearly. I think on all judges' scorecards, obviously Dan Ige won the first with the knockdown. But great performance for Lerone Murphy. 2 losses in a row for Dan Ige. Tough for him, but he'll bounce back. They'll give him an unranked guy. He'll probably fight a fucking, I don't know, like a Nate Landwehr next. He already fought Nate Landwehr. Sorry, that's just like unranked guy. He might fight like a Jenkins or a Gene Silva or something. I think he'd lose to Gene Silva, but like he'll probably get some random unranked guy. He'll probably beat him. We'll see what happens with Dan Ige. Lerone Murphy called out Josh Emmett. I like it. I like the call out of Joshua Emmett. I think that's a good fight. It's a reasonable call out as well, not like stepping out of your line, calling for some bullshit that's never going to happen. So solid call out for Lerone Murphy, bro. The miracle, bro. Fucking throw some leg kicks, bro. Yeah, attack the calf, Lerone. But anyway, good win for Lerone Murphy, moving up the rankings, I guess. Next matchup, opening up the main card, we had Shara Magomedov against Armen Petrosyan. Now, Shara finally actually got an impressive fucking KO. And finally actually looked good. Because he's previously just looked mid and either gotten a TKO against Tricoli or just gone to a very lackluster decision against like Bruno Silva and against Mikhail Olekjachuk. But here, he was kind of looking a bit even. It was, in my opinion, about to be 1-1 going into the third. But about 5 seconds to go in the second, he throws a spinning back fist, misses, and then spins back the other way. So he goes like back, and then he spins the other way, I think like that. And then fucking lands a KO blow and knocks down and drops him badly. Didn't quite put him out, but it seems like he was just very dazed because he kind of just stood there and didn't look like he was even trying to fight back. Or sat there, sorry. But he didn't look like out of it. Like he didn't look like he was just KO'd, but he also was like, oh, it's done, I guess, and just kind of sat there. But great performance from Shara. The kicks they were trading were nasty. Some big shots, couple nut shots here and there, Got to cheat. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But yeah, good win for Shara Magomedov. Let's skim through these prelims because they were pretty solid. Ibo Islan, 45 seconds-ish, give or take, ran through Rafael Sequeira, KO'd him immediately. I picked Sequeira, dumb pick. I picked an unproven regional guy without watching any tape because he was undefeated and Brazilian. And I rate Brazil as a better country for martial arts than fucking Turkey. And Ibo Islan looked mid as fuck against Anton Tricali. But Sequeira just has not been in a proper fight before, it seems, and just stood there and just got whooped and got finished. So yeah, tough performance to see there from Sequeira on his debut. Not a show-stopping performance by any means. He got stopped very quickly. Next fight though, we have, what was it? It was Jeff Neal against RDA. Now Jeff Neal came out looking sharp. He looked crisp. He landed a good shot, put RDA down. They get back up, with a brief grappling entanglement. He lets him back up, and then he lands. They kind of come together, and then RDA falls to the ground, clutching his knee, clearly in pain, clearly injured. Ref calls the fight. RDA's done his fucking knee or Achilles or fucking ACL, MCL, one of those CLs, one of the ligaments, one of the tendons. Didn't look good, and not the only injury that happened on the card. But tough performance for RDA. I wouldn't mind seeing him retire. I'm imagining Dana White's going to get asked about RDA. He's going to be like, what's RDA? I'd love to see him retire. But yeah, good enough, I guess, for Jeff Neal. Solid performance. He looked alright. I can't fault him. It wasn't his fault. He came out there and won easily. But just a very quick stoppage due to the injury. But next fight was, in my opinion, the fight of the year. That is the most fun and the most crazy I have had watching a fucking fight this year. Holloway Gaethje had the moment, and it had a knockdown in the fourth. It had the spinning back fist at the end of the spinning back kick, at the end of the first, and it had the rock, Gaethje getting rocked and teed off on in the fifth. But apart from that, I think that fight was very pedestrian. Ribovic Alhuba was sick. First and second were very good rounds, but not just back and forth brawls. Every single round here was just a back and forth brawl where both guys were in it, both guys were scrapping. Rabecki won the first round, swole up Orolbai's eye into the size of a fucking goal. My eye was a balloon. My eye came out of the socket. That's what Orolbai said, otherwise known as that's his fucking woolly mammoth language. But he lost. I forgot to even mention the result of the fight. I picked Orolbai by decision. He lost by split decision. I thought it shouldn't have been a split. I thought it was unanimous for Rabecki. First and third, he won. Orolbai looked solid in the second, cut Rabecki open. It was with a headbutt, but for the judges, the visual of it looks good to score it for Orolbai. Kind of teed off on him. But even when Rabecki was beating him up, Rabecki dropped him bad in the third round. was whooping his ass. I'm like, this is going to get stopped for sure. And then somehow he makes his way back into the fight, ends up on top and starts landing. I was like, what the fuck is going on? But just back and forth. Rabecki's very solid. I wasn't overly confident in Orolbai because I knew Rabecki was still good. I think he's learned from that Ferreira fight. Maybe Ferreira's just levels better than Orolbai and Rabecki. But I didn't rate his cardio after that performance. I thought he was going to have a cardio issue, maybe get drowned in the later rounds, because Orolbai just pushes a pace relentlessly. But yeah, ultimately, great fight between the two of them. One of the best fights I've ever seen this year, to be honest. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating it. There is always a kind of an element of recency bias. But I fucking enjoyed the shit out of that fight. Both got cut open. The blood coming out of them was crazy. And anytime one of them had momentum, the other one would just kind of turn it around. And it would be like, what the fuck? But yeah, let's move on though. Abus Magomedov versus Kennedy. No, okay, that's the other fight. Abus Magomedov versus Bruno Ferreira. I'm very tired, as you can tell. But I picked Abus Magomedov. I picked him to win by TKO. I think it was like round 2 or 3. He got it done by round 3 submission. I thought it was pretty clearly 1-1. Abus won the first by just keeping it on the feet at range, doing a whole lot of nothing. And then Bruno Ferreira in the second took him down, kind of beating him up a bit, landed some good shots on the feet. Well, not took him down, sorry, landed some good shots on the feet. Abus took him down. Third round, Abus gets him down again, gets to the head and arm position, I think that's what it was, and ended up head and arm choking Bruno Ferreira to get the tap. So good win. Good win for... Who the fuck's his name? I'm going brain dead. Abus Magomedov. I picked him as well. Good stuff. Next fight, though, Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Chris Barnett. This was a rough one to watch. Chris Barnett injured himself jumping up. He did the fucking Brian Ortega. I'm glad you asked. He just immediately jumped up and smoked his leg or hamstring. I think the official calling was left hamstring. Apparently, he might have done it on a kick. Might have done it on the jump. I'm not sure. But yeah, you can't be jumping with that much weight, bro. You're trying to cause a fucking Category 5... like earthquake. Like, what are you doing on the Richter scale? What are we doing here, bro? So yeah, good win from Kennedy Nzechukwu. He looked sharp at heavyweight, but you were fighting a blob who injured himself immediately and is just been unable to really take his career seriously. So tough for Chris Barnett. I feel bad for the guy, but Kennedy looked good up in his new weight class. Other fights: Basharat against Victor Hugo. Whole lot of nothing. Hugo rolled for some fucking legs. Basharat looked solid. Second fight on the card, what was that? Naurdiev against Bruno Silva, 30-27 Naurdiev. Basharat also won, I think, 30-27. Naurdiev, just a mixture of tuning him up on the feet, taking him down, securing kind of ground control, fence control, whole lot of nothing again. And then the first fight of the card, I'll talk about this for a little bit. Absolute fucking terrible, disgusting, despicable robbery. Carlos Leal clearly won, and I'm not even coping. I picked Rinat, so I get my pick right, but I shouldn't. And if the entire YouTube community as a collective wants to come along and say we all don't count our pick of Rinat, I will happily do the same. But I won't do it if other people aren't doing it. So yeah, Rinat though wins, gets the win officially. Looked terrible in my opinion. Striking looks dog shit. His entries are awful. He went like 2 from 20 on fucking takedown entries. So absolute disgraceful behaviour from Rinat Fakhretdinov. But yeah, apart from that, I think that's it. What else? Fuck yeah, as I said, bonuses were Fighter Night, Rabecki, Orolbai, and then performance bonuses to Shara, Khamzat, and Ilia. I thought maybe Ibo would get a bonus, maybe, but I guess not. No missed weight there as well, so I thought maybe they'd get one. But it is what it is. Total of 250 grand in bonuses sent out. I'm sure Dana White's given out way more than he wants to. But yeah, that'll do it, guys. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, follow my Instagram, Left Lane MMA. Follow my second channel, which is Right Lane MMA. In case I get banned on this one, that's where I upload some backup content. But yeah, let me know what other videos you guys want to see coming off UFC 308. I'm going to do the next fights to make in a couple hours time. I'll do maybe like a fighters downfalls I'm dreading. I saw a post kind of relating to like a biggest aura losses type shit, or like fighters that were the scariest guys in their division and no longer are, with like Pavlovich and BSD. So yeah, if you guys want to see something like that, let me know. Otherwise, drop all the other videos and stuff in the comments, drop me a like, and yeah. Peace out, guys. See you later, and rip Max Holloway. But anyway, see you later. Gee whiz.